In a qualifying run the other day, Steve David took the brand new U-19 out. He spun it at corners number 3 and 4 at the apex, and we had a chance to talk to him. In testing yesterday, your brand new boat took a little bit different ride than you expected. What happened?
Well, Jim, we had it up to about 200 miles an hour going into the bridge, and when I set up for the turn, there were some rollers, and apparently we took a dip in a roller, and when we did, the sponson followed the wake, and it kind of spun out, went up on its side, and laid back down right side up, but everything's fine, and we're ready to go today.
Brought to you by the Performance Corner people. For the store nearest you, dial 1-800-533-8989. Let's go to Dick Crippen. Dick?
Here's some fancy unlimited hydroplane terminology for you. Hanging it on the hook. What does it mean? Let's go to Doug Ford. What does that mean, hanging it on the hook?
Well, Dick, really hanging it on the hook refers to sticking the boat in the corner and loading up the skid fin. This is a skid fin. Much like the keel on a sailboat or a centerboard on a surfboard, this is what makes the boat turn. It carries tremendous loads, up to 6,000 to 25,000 pounds of load, shoots up a tremendous wall of water when they turn. And we're very concerned about the safety of these also. If one of these fins were to break or pull off the boat, in a corner, the boat may do a flip to the inside or run over somebody, which could be very, very serious. Very high loads, very critical to performance. The skid fin is probably the most important add-on piece of hardware any of these Unlimiteds have.
So when you watch the Unlimited racers, watch for that second rooster tail in the turn, because that's the skid fin.
Top qualifier, Miss Budweiser at 150.5. The rest of the field in tight. The top 4 boats all over the 140 mark. Now let's check the starting lineups.
In Heat 1A, the Hulset Miss Madison, driven by Mike Hansen. The Miss Budweiser, U1, Tom Deeth, the driver. The U8, Mr. Pringles, George Woods Jr. The U7, Paddock Pools, Jerry Hopp. Rounding out the field, Mitch Evans in the U3, Cooper's Express.
As they come down for the start, Miss Budweiser, Dick has the inside lane, and here comes the field.
But look at Mike Hansen. Lane 4 comes power on, trying to beat out the Budweiser to the start. On the outside of him, the Jiff presents Mr. Pringles. There's the start, and it's about even Steven. Beside the inside boat, the red and white Miss Budweiser and the blue and white Hulset Miss Madison with the multicolored Jiff presents Mr. Pringles on the outside. As they complete the first of the turns in 3 laps out here today, the Miss Budweiser, Tom Deeth, has taken over the lead and is distancing himself on the rest of the field.
This is a different type of format where usually 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B see 5-lap preliminary heats. These are called sprints. 3 laps only, but there's more of them. They all have to run an extra preliminary heat section to get into the finals. So they have to go really out, put the foot down. They only have 3 laps. They cannot make a mistake as we come to the conclusion of lap number 1.
Well, there we saw a contrast in taking the turns. The Jiff presents Mr. Pringles going way to the outside. Miss Budweiser, Tommy Deeth at 130.553 miles per hour, held to the inside of the course and still held his speed very high. Jiff presents Mr. Pringles a little bit light on its ride, but George Woods is holding it in, now taking second place.
Out of 3 races this year, this boat, the Miss Budweiser, won Detroit the Gold Cup, won the last race in Evansville, Indiana. The Circus, who will make its appearance in the next heat, has won the opener at Miami, looking to even the score here today as they go under the Milton Bridge, crossing the Ohio River, and look at your number 2 boat.
A good ride by George Woods Jr., but we noticed that that boat, along with the Miss Budweiser, tending to get a little bit light on the back straight. Now, Tom Deeth expressed a little concern about especially the 1 and 2 turns here at Madison, Indiana, because he said they were roughing up a little bit. That comes pretty close to the shoreline, and it gets a little bit tough when those rollers come back out.
These boats literally fly over the water, about 9 square inches of each sponson, half the prop. You see they're more airborne than on the water, thus the name hydroplane.
Tom Deeth becoming more pilot than he is driver of this craft as it shoots across the top of the water and tries to hold that balance between water and air. There's Hulset Miss Madison. This is running very well, this boat today on the Madison home course. Mike Hansen would like nothing more than to hear those cheers for that checkered flag if he should take it, because of course these folks here in Madison, Indiana have an investment in this boat. As we continue around the turns, Tom Deeth coming. Whoa! Tom takes a pop out of the water, brings it flat down, puts the gun to it. The checkered flag is waving. Tom Deeth is going to come home with his first win of the day, and that's going to make him pretty happy because it gives him a distance on the field as far as points are concerned. He looks to the starting tower now, sees the checkered flag. Miss Budweiser is the winner of Heat 1A.
400 points for Miss Budweiser and 300 points for this second place rainbow-colored shift presents Mr. Pringles here in Heat 1A.
The entire crew of that boat working hard, and they've got to be pleased with the second place finish in the first race of the day here at Madison, Indiana. The hometown boat coming in third place, Mike Hansen and the Holsett Miss Madison. And I know the fans on the shoreline are happy about that. They really get behind the boat. There you see the finish with Miss Budweiser leading the way. Let's go to the docks and Jim Hendrick.
Another lap and a heat record for you, Tom.
Well, it was a good start, and just wanted to keep the Budweiser out front, keep those points coming, and the records, I guess, are just coming automatically.
Bernie, your driver wasn't across the starting line first, but he came out of that first turn first, the short way.
He sure did. He went around the course the short way, and Miss Budweiser's performing well, so is Tommy. So we're out there to win.
I mean, that first turn it looks a little dangerous, especially when you're going to have, let's say, 6 boats in the final.
That's right. You're really going to have to be careful because there just isn't a lot of room down there. There's probably room for about 2, maybe 3, not 6.
Certainly one of the boats you're going to have to watch very closely in this race is Miss Circus. And Chip Hanauer, number 1, the speeds. This week, people seem a little more clustered.
Yeah, the speeds are getting close together, but I think an unfortunate situation. I think we're starting to outgrow some of our race courses. The speeds are just simply too much for the race courses like in Miami. And I would begin to think here in Madison now that the speeds really are too much for these race courses to handle.
I noticed one thing in your qualifying runs, as you did, everybody did, and that is way far to the outside, especially in 3 and 4.
It's everybody. There's so much momentum now with these boats that everybody wants to run on the outside, and there's just not room. We're here on a very narrow race course, and there's probably only 1 or maybe 2 proper lines, and the rest of them just are impossible to get a boat around, and I think that's going to mean trouble, and that's what I mean by, I think, outgrowing the race courses.
Jim Kropfeld will drive the Winston Eagle. Circus to be driven by the man we just heard from, Chip Hanauer. The new U-19, Bob Fendler and Steve Davids, Easter Seals. Jim Harvey's Old Boy Alberto to be driven by Mark Tate. And speaking of Mark Tate, today he drives with new power, a turbine engine.
Well, I think I'm more suitable to drive a turbine than I am a piston power coming from the limited inboards. The pistons, you got to watch a lot more gauges and manifold pressure and use the nitrous and those types of things. A turbine is just raw power and just push the pedal down and go.
Lane number 1 is Oh Boy Alberto, Circus, lane 2, Winston Eagle in lane 3, and the Easter Seals in lane 4 as Circus and Winston Eagles start battling it out in the first turn. This the first of 3 laps on the Madison, Indiana course. Chip Hanauer managing to come out the leader. The pink and white lady, as he likes to call her, from Circus, is now your leader.
32 foot long, width 14 feet, weight 6,000 pounds, and that turbine engine, that Lycoming T55 humming as they come under the bridge on the back chute of lap number 1.
And we're watching the boats very closely on the back chute because that's where they tended to lighten up in the first heat, and it looks like they're getting light in this heat also, so that could be a problem area as the races go on today. To the left of your screen, second place, that's the Winston Eagle, Jim Kropfeld. You remember they brought this boat back out after trying a brand new boat the first couple of races. There's the lap speed on the Miss Circus, 127.568 miles per hour. The Winston Eagle boat, as we told you, is the older boat, and it's handling a lot better. So they feel more comfortable. They'll get some points and meanwhile continue to test the other one.
And likewise, Dick, this team also has a brand new turbine boat, and it's on hand, and they've been testing a couple of days before each race before they replace this proven hull with the new one.
First place is the Miss Circus into lap number 2. The Winston Eagle is in second place with Jim Kropfeld behind the wheel. Oh Boy Alberto, the new turbine-powered boat, is now in third with another turbine, Easter Seals, in fourth place. A beautiful shot of the Circus boat coming out of the turn. We talked earlier about the skid fin. You could see in the turn very clearly that second rooster tail kick up. Still in second place, the Winston Eagle taking a little bit wider berth underneath the bridge in Madison, Indiana.
How about this point, Dick? This boat right now at 125.6. Chip Hanauer has slowed it down, but he knows now 1 more lap to go. 400 points for him. It'll be 300 points for the Winston Eagle with Jim Kropfeld, and 225 points for the third place boat, Oh Boy Alberto. At the end of all the elimination heats, They now accumulate the points, and only the top 5 or 6 point getters, depending on how they vote, will get into the final. And this brand new boat, of course, looking to improve race by race. The Easter Seals, driven by Steve David.
And, of course, they're still experimenting, sort of, with the Oh Boy Alberto. Mark Tate, the driver. They put that turbine engine there. They had run with it earlier in the year with the piston packer. That boat riding in third. This is your leader coming around the final turn now as Chip Hanauer looks to the starting tower to see if he can see the checkered flag waving. There it is. It's waving off the tower now. Chip Hanauer knows he has to just cross the line, take the checkered flag. He has now equalized the Miss Budweiser as far as points on the day so far. So that battle of those two continues to heat up and get set for the final later this afternoon.
Second place goes to the veteran Jim Kropfeld, who lives just upriver a little bit in Cincinnati, Ohio, driving Steve Woomer's Day Glow Red Winston Eagle. Here's third place, Jim Harvey's Beef Jerky Oh Boy Alberto, driven by Mark Tate, the rookie this year. And fourth place goes to the Easter Seals, and Steve David will pick up 169 points.